Hello all. So when we left it, we were working on this Git application, and this is pretty sweet. I have this Git application and the URL for this, where is the GitHub? Right here, Git Explorer. So Git Explorer is a really cool tool for looking at the internals of Git. And so it's really cool. I have it launching right here. If I fire up Git Explorer, I can see the commit history. Now, typically when we're looking at the Git history, we will see just the commits, these red nodes. And that's interesting, but as I look at the details of each node, I can see the contents here. So this commit node has a parent with this ID, and it includes this tree node within it. So as I look at that tree node here, here's that tree node, and it references these two blob nodes. Well, here's one blob, and here's another blob. So it's a great way to visualize inside the Git repository to be able to see all of the pieces. Well, the cool part is the back end of this application is actually pretty sweet. It's a lot of TypeScript. I've refactored it out into elegant pieces, and that's really great. The front side of it is pretty messy. I hacked this out really fast, and it's spaghetti. So, we do a whole lot of computing, and then we launch into the D3 content, and if any of that data changes, then we're kind of out of luck. So my task today is to get more of this refactored into place. So yesterday we were looking at this content. We got one of the things at the very, very end, I loaded the ESLint plugin, but I did not load the editor config plugin. So that's why I was getting some weird errors. Now I've got the editor config plugin ready to go, and we're good to go. So let's look at other extensions. What extensions do I have enabled? ESLint, live share. Okay, so I think that might be good. Where we left it before. So we'll have this service that will pull in commits, and I haven't done that part. Then it calls into this one. Nope, not this one. This one that will reduce the nodes into a mechanism. So on the server side, we have these types here, and let me grab this and let me just open it differently. What's returned from the server is this get info type, and that's perfect. It has the full hash, the type, the length, nested nodes. So when a commit includes a tree, or when a tree includes a blob, parent nodes. So this is a child of this other node. Refs, so branches, the author details, the committer details, and I've broken out cat file and content into two different places. Technically they're the same, but one of them is actually just catting the git cat file, and the other one is unzipping the content. They're the same, but pivoting that into the type that will work for the UI, I flipped it over into this Git node. And Git node has all of those same properties, I think. But Git node will, these are linked lists, rather than just references. And that allows us to harvest the interesting details to be able to navigate through the nodes and build up interesting things. So the first step after getting the types is to take those commits, the getInfo commits, and pivot them into getDetail commits. So that's what it's doing here. We start off just copying all of the content across, and then we build those two linked lists. So that's working out pretty well. Next up, we will do the lines. And these lines identify both vertical lines between commits and horizontal lines from commit to tree to blob. So both of those are in place, and that's what we did last time. Now we're going to start into sorting nodes. I do a whole lot in here to try to sort both by date and by ID. So for example, if I go alphabetical, then I just have all of the tags alphabetical, which is pretty sweet. Or I can do a sort by parent and child. And what's interesting here is not only am I sorting by parent and child, but I have to like move in nested so that things don't overlap. So those are the two sort mechanisms. Sort. Okay, so export function sort by time, sort by date time, nodes, and that will be a get node array. And I think right now it will return nothing. Let's see. So here's that time. Time. Yeah, I think that will end there. Let's see. Okay, first stop, I need to go get all the unique dates. Now these aren't commits, these are nodes. And in the old one, I had this date, which was kind of the combination. I just picked one, author and committer. I'm gonna make an opinion now to say that I was using author date before. Let's just use author date as well. So I have the nodes map. Ooh, I need to pull in that. Let's pull in, I'll probably need to do that one too. Let's pull in the types. Okay, so I no longer have date, I have author dot date. Okay, now that's a date time. It might be null. I love the null coalescing operator. So I'm going to filter by it exists. Let's change this to D. Now the cool thing here, by saying new set will be unique. So I'm going to spread that set back out into an array, and now I have a list of dates. Dates.sort, and now I have a list of dates. Let's do this. Const date list equals that as what are those? Date time array. Because I'm filtering it, I am getting rid of the undefined, but it doesn't know that. Date list. Okay, so new set creates a unique list. So I spread that back out in an array, sort the array. Now I'm going to take the nodes that have an author.date. And for each of those, I'm going to set its time sequence equal to the index of c.author.date. Oh, in this case, I know that I have a date. Index of needs a number. Now are you happy? Okay, so time sequence is not a thing. Time sequence. I do want to put that on there. Okay, so here. Sort data. Time sequence is a number. And I'm also going to have alphabetical sequence. I don't remember what I called it previously, but let's do that. Okay, so reduce nodes now needs to set these and 0 isn't the right answer, but it will help us fulfill the interface. Type 0 is not assignable to type date time. But index of takes a date time. And this perhaps is nullable. So let's go like this. Const date equals c.author.date as date time. I'm not thrilled with that because I'm kind of defeating the purpose of this, but I know because I pre-filtered it that I have that. Okay, so I have the sequence. Now the interesting thing about copy nest here is this recursive function, let me move it down here. This recursive function will copy it into all of the child nodes. Let's show what that is. So this one has a date. I have the date right here. But this one doesn't have any concept of a date. Because this doesn't have a concept of a date, I need to copy this guy's date into this one to get it to sort correctly vertically. So that's what this is. And this is a node that is a get node, and depth is an int. Node. Did I get that wrong? Const I equals 0. What type is I? I'll need to come back to that. So I'm going to start with 0, and as I work my way in, I need to increase that number. Number and number. So I want this to be a number. What is this doing? Ah. Const time sequence is a number. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is going to be a little piece. So this is not 5, this is 4.1. I think that's what I'm trying to do. So this is 4 plus the length of them plus 2 over math.power 10 to the depth. That's just, I remember doing that, and I remember it doing strange things. So if it wants it to be a number with a lowercase n, let's do it. Okay, so now that recursive function will do interesting things. Now what I found, oh, don't copy it in if it is already set. So that says to me that this needs to be not a number, but a number or undefined. I would really rather it be a number. So I'm going to say if n.time sequence equals 0, then set it, because I want to say that 0 is not a valid number. Is that a thing? No, because 0 is a valid number. So I'm going to say if time sequence is less than 0. Ooh. That was an interesting thing for it to do. Let me push go. Okay. So if it's less than 0, then set it. That says to me that my default here, reduce nodes, my default here should be -1, not 0, because 0 is a valid number, but -1 is not. Now the weird part is that there will be some that don't have dates, and so we'll need to set those at the end. The other weird thing is, for example, if a node is descended on twice, then it will it gets weird. There's possibilities where things could get lost. So I think there's a logic bug there. Okay, so copy nest is in place. So now I've got the time sequence. Now let's go find all of the nodes where I haven't set it yet. Oh, okay, so each of these I'm going to set to time sequence.max. Oh, time sequence is one of those things that I built to kind of keep track of things, to be able to leverage interesting things. So I think I need to return this. So let's keep track of that. And if so, then I'll go create another type for it. So for each one of those, set it to the max, or set it to latest, which isn't great, but okay. And this is the alphabetical piece. So let me go like this. Now I'm going to return from this time sequence. Yeah. Okay, so that is sorting by time. I don't like that all of the missing ones are bunched up at the end, but I get it. And let me create a type for this. Min-max. Export interface min-max. Min number max number. Okay. This thing returns a min-max. Okay. So now sorting by date works. Well, I haven't tested it, but let's assume it works. Function, export function sort by hash. And this is going to do a similar thing. It's going to take in a list of nodes, and it's going to return a min-max. Okay. So nodes. Ooh. Last time I pulled out all the dates and sorted the dates because I might have duplicate dates, and there could be things that don't have dates. In this case, I'm not pulling out all of the hashes. That is interesting. So I'm just sorting by... Why am I... Oh, this is still time. Why am I doing this? I'm putting them in order. No, I can't see why time sequence would be any different. I don't know why I did this at all. I'm going to leave this out and see if that's okay. Oh, I am pushing the Y height a little bit higher. Okay, so I'm not sure if I need this. I'm going to set it there. Return... that's definitely not it. Ah! Copy wrapper nodes depth. No. Time sequence into nested nodes time sequence. I don't believe that I need this anymore at all. Let's see if that's let's see if that's doing the things. Hey, Big Louie. Nice to see you on the stream. You are up late. That's cool. Sort by hash. Okay. Build branches. So where is nested X trees? Ooh, this is so awful. The author of this code is, yeah. Okay. So I recall that I set X time sequence and Y hash. Ooh, there's Y hash. Okay, so that is, we did find the home for that. Sort by hash. Now I start out by copying all of the nodes so that I can sort it without breaking the original. I'm pretty sure I didn't call it hash sequence though. Let's go back and do all the things. Oh, I called it alpha sequence. Hash sequence. Sweet. Okay. So now sort nodes. I'm thinking I might be able to return Y heights. Oh, one of the things that this did, which was kind of interesting, was deduped duplicate dates. I'm not sure if that's a thing. Time sequence. Ooh. And I think maybe with parent-child relationships, I might be able to rip that out completely. Heights, is this a min max? Is min ever not 0? Okay. So my hash sequence is just the order of the things. So copy it into a new array, then sort it based on the hash. I'm going to sort it based on the hash full, and then I will commit the hash sequence and return the min and max of, how many nodes I have. That's pretty cool. Sort by hash. Build branches. Sort by hash. Sort by hash. Sort by hash. So I don't know why I copied time sequence into Y time. I'm thinking time sequence might be sufficient. Let's leave that alone. Build branches. Okay, so for each commit, xpos. Commits, filter by that. Oh, so this is setting the X position back and forth. So making things nest inward. Okay. Sort by hash. Sort by date time. I'm thinking sort by date time may be able to go away. Export function. Sort nested position. Set nested position. Set nested position. I'm taking in my nodes. That is a get node array. And I suspect I may return nothing. Let's see. Let's start with that. Okay. So nodes, for each node. So I'm grabbing all of the nodes that are commits and I'm sorting by author.date. I'm about ready to any number, big int, or an enum type. Ooh. I'm about ready to create a commit type because commits have authors and a bunch of other things and these don't. What if I do that? What if I have a get node and then I also have a export interface get commit node? Okay, so can I have an interface implement another interface? TypeScript interface derive interface inheritance interfaces optional properties. Interfaces extending classes. Implements. An interface can be extended by other interfaces. In other words, an interface can inherit from an interface. Ooh. Okay, so let's do that. Get commit node extends get node, and get node has this content and the other one does not. And at that point, these are no longer optional. Okay. So that's going to break the everything set. That's going to break the everything. Maybe. Let's see how far this goes, and we may undo that. Set nested position. Okay, so now I have an author. Now this date is, ooh, that's weird. Oh, I know why. I did not pull in the type. Let's go pull in the type. Get node, get commit node. Ooh, yes. That is no longer optional. Very nice. Date list equals nodes.map. Ooh, yeah, I need to do this. Const commits equals nodes. Oh. No, I need the full list. So nodes.filter n.type equals get type dot it's a commit, but I think I need to do that. So now as get commit node, now that I have commits, then I can do this. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. Now these aren't nodes, these are commits. I see this being a thing. Get node array returns a get commit node array and do that. Cool. I wonder how I do that as a lambda. That would be cool. As an arrow function. Okay, so let's do this. Get commits. Get commit nodes. Okay, so now based on the commit nodes, now I go grab the date list and now I can do all the things. And the cool part is because I now am copying the nested things, now when I go after all the nodes to get the missing sequences, everything works. I believe actually that's what this was doing, was pushing the last few at the end, but past the end. Okay, so I think we might now be okay dropping that. Copy nest, sort by hash, those are regular nodes. This set nested position. This is get commit nodes from the nodes. And now I can sort by, date dot. I was presuming that that was a number, so let's do this. Create a date time from a number. Okay. From hour, days and year, days and month. Gets the millisecond of the second, but I want total. Set to BSON, to JS date, to local, to mils. That's what I want. Okay. You are correct. Now it's no longer null. Why am I sorting by date? I'm sorting by date, but I already did sort by date up here. I have time sequence. So let me do a dot time sequence minus b dot time sequence. And I think that might get us better. So x position time y. And time x. They're nodes. Time x is not a thing, I understand. Node get node. If I don't have node.children, then ooh. Did I do that? I think that this meant to be nested. I think I might have a bug. Time x. I think the bug here is that children. So children are vertical concepts. Children are here. this is a child of this one. I think I wanted nested X positions. Oh, I'm trying to build these branches. That makes sense. Okay. So types time X is number and nope, that's not a thing. Time Y. Okay, now we need to go find all of the time sequence and replace them with time Y. Yes. Okay, sort nodes back at the farm. Okay, so if it's a child node and it's already set, that's fine. But if it's a child node, then git commit node. That's interesting. So here, git parents and children's need to be git commit nodes. And okay, I need to keep track of a max and be able to set it. I think that's why this function was nested last time. So let's come back to that one. Okay, set nested position. Go after the commits and move them in. Ugh. This is hairy. I remember coding this, and I remember it being a little kind of sketchy. Okay, so X widths. X widths is a min max. So so there's X widths. And I'm mutating it in the middle of the thing, which I totally get is not good. And this X widths min max. Oh, it's right there. Cool. build git indent git branches. Okay. So this is x widths, and I'm going to return x widths from here. So this returns a min max. Okay. So set commit xpos. So this was set. Ooh. Let's go like this. Function set commit position nodes git node. Oh, I also need to pass in x widths. X widths min max, and I'm going to mutate it in the middle of that function. But yeah, so what if I do this? Let's grab the commits out here, and so this is a git commit node array nodes. That's cool. And now this doesn't return x widths, rather it gets past x widths. So now I do this and I set commit position cs x widths. Okay. Set commit position. So now this is still spaghetti, but it's unraveling a bit, and that's cool. This one, ooh, yeah. So I set commit positions, and then I set tree positions, nodes, x widths. I'm going to mutate it again. Set tree positions. Is a min max. That is cool. So tree start. I remember ooh. What was that? Nest dot hash sequence hash. It's not hash sequence. What was that property? Up. Time x. That's what I'm after. Time x. Okay. So I think that's gonna lay out like that. If there aren't any nested nodes, that's fine. Time x equals node dot time x plus 1. If x widths dot max is less than, I really wish it didn't do that. And I'm going to push it in. Okay, so x widths. I don't think it's going to be a min max. I think it's going to be because I need to set tree start. I need to keep track of where the tree started, and I think I also need to keep track of where the blob started. So let's go create another type, and it will derive from min-max. Export interface positions extends min max. I don't think I need to nest it. Tree start, but let's see. Hash start, and I think all of the hashes are set, but let's that is no longer that. That's an X positions. Tree start is -1, and hash start is -1. What did I do? Yeah. I did not import X positions. Okay, now that's all good. Cool. Now the interesting thing is I'm only nesting these if the type is tree. I wish this wasn't a constant. Okay, so now set loose tree positions. I think that actually needs to go back in there. Set loose trees in place. So nodes, go find all of the trees where X position is less than 0. And it's not X position, it's time X. And set all of those trees in a smidge more. Okay. Set blob positions. Okay, so up here, set tree positions, set blob positions. So if I've got these nodes and I'm if a tree is part of more than one thing, that's the visual bug, is that it ends up in wacky places. I don't have any nested, I do have nested tree nodes. So like this one is nested inside this one, and so it gets moved in, but it's also not, and so yeah, it's a smidge weird. I don't mind it though. Set nested X position. Set blob positions. There we go. So blank space, X width dot blob. What did I call this? Hash start. It's actually blob. All the blobs are lined up, so it can be there. Oh, this is that. Which says to me that nesting those two was a bad idea, because I'm getting places where I expected it to be to error, but it did not. Okay. So nodes, go grab all the blobs, and this go grab all the blobs and set their time X. To be where the blob position was. Go find all of the things that are of type blob. Ooh, so this there is need for a function get nodes of type, and this doesn't return commit nodes, this returns nodes. Okay. Technically this is a superset, but because it casts it, do I call the nested thing? I think that I will not. tree position, get nodes of type, nodes, and I also want to filter it by time X. Okay. Now that's filtering by type because I don't want to set the blobs, and blobs are also nested. But this get nodes of type, nodes, blob. Ooh. So I'm going to do that ahead of time. And now, because I know all of the blobs are of type blob, then I don't need to do this. I can just go dink. Ooh. Blobs without a tree. There are no such thing as blobs without a tree. Because blobs are blobs are blobs. There's blobs. Okay. So I think we've worked out all of the setting the X and the Y positions, which is cool. Let's clean up these. Let's clean up these. I would like to test these. Do I want to test these right now? I don't think so. I think that I want to instead work on getting the rest of the piece in place. Now, part of moving it to TypeScript is so that it's testable. So I do see value in testing it, but I think another look through all the things will help me to understand which ones don't make sense. So, and then refactor it better. Okay. So this process, let me create a new service that will process nodes.ts. Okay, so process nodes takes in nothing and will return a bunch of stuff. So import load nodes from load nodes, which doesn't exist. Import from reduce lines. Let's just grab all these. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Reduce lines. Oh, hahaha. Reduce lines, reduce nodes, sort nodes. Okay, so in reduced lines, I want get horizontal lines and get vertical lines. From reduced nodes, I want reduced nodes. From sort nodes, I want you're right. These are not this is filter nodes. New file, filter nodes. Okay. So those filter node functions are awesome. Process nodes, no. Sort nodes. Now these are import get commit nodes and get nodes of type from filter nodes. Now I could crawl back out to the @ directory, but I'm not going to, because these are they're relative to themselves. That's a smidge fragile, but I'm not super worried. Reduced, okay, so process nodes. Do I want to call this index? I think I do. I'm not thrilled with that because that's suggesting that all of that is a module, which is not out of the realm of possibility. Okay, so set nested position, sort by date time, sort by hash. Set nested position is not a great set x. Set x positions. That's a better way to call it. Okay. So, const commits equals load nodes. Oh, that's await. Export async function await load nodes. Let's do that. Export async function load nodes. And it's going to pull in get commit. It's the one that we get from the service. Let's look at that. Get info. Get info. Get info. Now it returns a promise of type get info array, and we need to do the stuff. Return an array. Ta-da. I still need to do that, but yeah. Okay. So I get the commits. Now from here, I do the reduced nodes. Which takes the commits and gets the thing. Then sort by date, nodes, sort by hash, nodes, time y. Y heights. Yeah, let's actually call it what it is. Yeah. Oh, hello. I am from Turkey and already studying to be a front-end developer. I made some projects like biography page, form page, JS document page, snake game, but I cannot pass to the next level. Do you have any suggestions? That sounds like a really cool idea. What suggestions would I use to get to the next script? Try it out. That's not a great answer. Go find a tutorial and build it. That's kind of what got me here was I built this app that is able to view Git commits, and I wanted to learn TypeScript, so I just started plowing into TypeScript. Nodes is a Git detail, and this takes in Git node. What am I doing? Maybe some projects? Git detail. Oh, yeah. This needs to not return a Git detail. This needs to return a Git Git node. Yes. So I see I have a bug in. This returns a Git node array. Yes, that's going to do all kinds of broken. Maybe some projects. One of the cool things about open source is that you can dig into open source and start to help with any project that you wouldn't expect to be able to help with. So, for example, you could jump into Angular and start to maybe improve the documentation or maybe improve the unit test coverage. There are lots of really cool open source projects that could use some help. And so I think that's a really, really cool way to get started. Set X positions nodes. Is that going to return something? Yes. Now I need to return Git stuff. Maybe some projects. Maybe some projects. Let me think about that some more because that could be really interesting. It also says to me that I'm missing a lot of frames. That's kind of bad. So I'm going to then call all the things and I need to return nodes time y hash y limits time y limits hash y limits hash x limits hash x limits. Okay. So that is there anything that needs to consume the commits directly? I don't think so. Reduce lines, yeah. Hors lines equals get horizontal lines. That takes the nodes, and const vertical lines equals get vertical lines. And that takes the nodes. Okay. That's pretty cool. So I think we may have pushed it as far as we can today. No, there is one more thing that we need to do. Because it's blowing up right now a lot on this reduced nodes. Reduced nodes needs to create different types of nodes based on what type of thing it is. So, so I do need the linked list, but I need the linked list for nested and wrappers. And then time y types, time y, time x, and hash sequence. I'm going to change that to hash y because I think that better represents it. It's the vertical position of the thing. So time y, time x, and hash y. Okay, so if it's that, it's that. But if c.type equals commit, then const c equals r as get commit node, and then c dot. I'm not positive that's the right way to do it. Let's try this. And c dot parents equals an empty array, and c dot children equals an empty array. These are the linked lists. Ooh. You are correct. This can no longer return undefined. This needs to return that. Return empty. Okay, so I've got an empty, and empty is missing the following properties. Date is null. No, it's undefined. Email is undefined. And name is undefined. Oh, name and date time. Okay. So if you didn't pass me a thing, I'm going to return you an empty object rather than return you if you return me nothing, I'm going to return you the proper thing. Okay. Parents does not exist on Node. You are correct. Because if commit node if it is a commit, then this node is a get commit node, and get commit nodes have parents. Type author committer parents. Yes. So where are you falling off? Ah. Now that's an assumption. And c dot type equals commit. Okay. Now it's no longer an assumption. The assumption before was only commit nodes had parents, and this very specifically filters that to double check it. Okay. Let's go compile it, and then I think we need to be done for today. There's a few things totally wrong. Sort nodes. Let's start there. Sort nodes. Hash sequence. Hash y. I bet we have a lot of things that way. Nope. Reduce lines. Reduce lines. Get vertical lines is get, they are get commit nodes. Okay. Get horizontal lines. Vertical lines are only commit nodes. So here, do I want to filter it in there or do I want to filter it out here? I really like how simple this is. Yes, I'm going to filter it in there. So this, import from filter nodes, get commit nodes. I'm glad that function exists. That's really cool. Get commit nodes from nodes. Now I only have commit nodes. Nice. I did see an unused variable there. Let's compile it again and see where that compile fail was. I bet I get a lot of fail there. Trailing white space in types. That's not types. Types. Trailing white space. Edit. File. Preferences. Settings. Trim trailing white space. Okay. Maybe that's the setting that I didn't have set just so. That was causing all of these. Building for production. Ooh, sort nodes. Let's use a const. Sort nodes. Let's use a const. Good call. White space. A whole lot of white space in sort nodes. Were you just mad a lot at that one thing? Let's go back and look at it. There was 2 errors. Depth +1. Depth +1. Okay. You really don't like that line, 44. I really don't like that line either. Because there's a little bit too much magic happening in there. I still see some problems. +2. Nope, not there. I'm about to tell it to jump in a lake for these though. Okay. For some reason, building kills my frame rate. That's unexpected. Inside index, I have some unused things. What do I have unused inside index? I don't think I have anything unused inside index. Are you sure? Trailing white space. It built. It built. Okay. So what did we do today? This Git Explorer project here on GitHub is really cool at being able to look through a Git history. And the back end is in great shape. It's got TypeScript, but the front end is this big blob of mayhem. So it looks like we got the first half sorted out, and next I think we probably need to unit test it. Oh no, we didn't do load nodes. Let's do that real fast. Okay, so import Axios. Yep, we need to pull in Axios. And then let's do an Axios fetch. I'm gonna cheat. Aha, Axios cheat sheet. That would probably be perfect. Okay. So this res dot data. Okay, JSON. Response type is JSON. Yeah. I'm gonna go back into that cheat sheet. So I'm going to get I'm just going to cast it as get info array. And we'll need to test that carefully. Oh. Const commits equals res.data as get info array or undefined. And so I'm going to say return if not commits, return an empty array. Return commits.filter. I just want to nuke all of the empty commits out of the way. So if it returned an empty array or it returned an array with garbage, now we have the content in place. Okay. And what I think we've found is that here inside services, I'm going to create a new folder, fetch nodes. So services, all of these things are about fetching the nodes, with the exception of this one. Oh, haha. Close all. Okay, so service fetch nodes. Filter nodes has nothing to do with that. So let's go grab filter nodes and move it back out of here. Now that is going to break some things. So let's go find those. No, not. Let's go build it and go find those spots where it's broken. Load nodes is fine. Reduce lines. Ooh, yeah, let's just do that. So now that I'm using this, services, now that it's no longer in its normal spot, let's move it to the at /filter. I really don't want to replace it though. Now the benefit of doing the at services is I can refactor it without breaking stuff. Okay. So now we should get a clean build. We did some cool stuff. We broke apart that service into pieces so that each piece is only doing one thing. And now we can start to unit test each piece and get a feel for those pieces working correctly. It's also in TypeScript and not in JavaScript, which is pretty cool. The next step, I think, so then looking at this original script, we've gotten to this part. We're halfway through, about halfway through. The next half is about rendering the SVG And so to get the SVG in place, we'll need to do some other interesting things. Ooh, that's interesting. That'll be fun. And that's where we'll start to do some really interesting pieces around Vue and TypeScript. So for now, let me fire it up. npm run serve. It's still going to work. It's not actually calling out to the service, but we will have all of the pieces, and it is so much cleaner. It's running. Nope, there. And we still have our hard-coded node over here. That's pretty cool. So this was a lot of fun. We did some really cool stuff. Next up, we'll do some more pieces. Thanks for watching.